And to wrap it up, Jokic wins his back-to-back MVP. He's a two-time MVP winner. He had gaudy numbers one more time. He had 27.1 points, 13.8 rebounds, 7.9 assists. So by no means is he not deserving of this award. All the advanced metrics show that he's had one of the best, if not one, the most statistically best seasons of all time. But those same stats also say that he's one of the best defenders in the league. And it doesn't take too much Jokic tape to see that he's not one of the best defenders in the NBA. Especially if you see him in the playoffs and how teams attack the Nuggets. It's like, okay, these numbers could tell the story. They could help us gauge who's good in the NBA and who's not. But you can't just look at the numbers and assume who's good, who's not, who's having a historical season. Because if you did, like I said, Jokic, he is one of the best players in the NBA, and he might end up being one of the best players ever, like top 20. But he's like the numbers are saying that he had like the best season ever, and he's a top 5 defender in the league, and that's just not true. And then you see his team getting bounced in the first round, like on back-to-back years, or second round and first round this year. Second round last year, first round this year, something like that. And you're just like, it leaves a bad taste in your mouth. And then you see that the Nuggets were the 6th seed, and it leaves another sour taste in your mouth. And then you see Giannis just racking up 40-point games in the playoffs, playing without his co-star Middleton. You know, that game just ended, and they're gonna go 7 against the Celtics in round 2. But it just doesn't feel fair that like Jokic and now Giannis have the same amount of MVPs, and we clearly could see that Giannis is better, and he had an amazing season himself, and his team is going deeper into the playoffs, and they had a higher seed, and I don't know, it just feels a little off knowing that Nikola Jokic has 2 MVPs, and Shaq only had 1, and Kobe only had 1, and it's like, that's just crazy. That's just crazy, in my opinion. I don't know if I'm the only one that feels this way, but I'm pretty sure I'm not, because I've been on NBA Twitter, and it seems like there's a lot of people that think this way too. And for my money, I think I had Antetokounmpo number 1, I had Embiid number 2, and I had Jokic number 3. And if I'm being honest, there was like a gap. Like there were some games where Giannis just completely showed out against like the best teams in the NBA, against the Nets, against the Philly Sixers. There's some other good games he had against some West teams where you're just like, okay, that was a dominant performance. That should definitely like increase his MVP like consideration. And obviously Jokic had some good games too, and you know, Murray wasn't available the whole season, so Jokic did do a lot of the heavy lifting. And like I said, the advanced numbers are saying that Jokic should have clearly been the MVP, but like I said, he was the 6th seed. So it leaves a sour taste in my mouth. And then you see what the other guys are doing in the playoffs, and it's just like, come on. But like I said, Nikola Jokic played a Warriors team that was clearly a way better team, and he still put up numbers, and he didn't get swept when it looked like he was gonna get swept. So you got to give him a little bit of credit, but I don't know. It just leaves a sour taste in my mouth that Nikola Jokic now has 2 MVPs, and Shaq and Kobe had 2 combined. And like, I think Nikola Jokic is going to have a great career. He's still young. I think he's like 27 years old. He has a lot of thread left in those tires. He's going to continue to build his resume. But when it's all said and done, like I don't think he's going to pass Shaq or Kobe all time. But now he has these 2 MVPs. So there's going to be an argument to be had when his career is over that he was better than these guys. And as a number 1 option, I don't think he will be. And I think Giannis should have had 3 by now. And this looks like it's the Giannis era. And now with Jokic winning 2 MVPs, there's going to be people that have an argument that's like, oh, this is a Jokic era, especially if, some superstar signs with the Nuggets for some odd reason, and they make if they make a run next year to the playoffs or in the next couple of years, and he ends up with a ring, 2 MVPs in a ring, like, is this the best player of this generation? And I don't think he's gonna get to that level, or he doesn't deserve to be in that consideration. Kinda like he is a top 5 player in the NBA, but back-to-back MVPs seems like a lot. But like I said, those numbers are amazing. 27 points, 13 rebounds, damn near 14, 8 assists, gaudy numbers by all means. And I don't know, I'm torn apart that think even Embiid deserved it over him with all the drama that was going on with Simmons. Traded a bunch of the pieces to get to get Harden. Harden was clearly not Harden. We've seen how Harden flamed out in the playoffs, and Embiid carried that team to the playoffs. Played with a broken face, messed up hand, fucked up hand, and I don't know. This MVP left a very sour taste in my mouth. Like, it just felt like it should have been Giannis, and if not Giannis, it should have been Embiid, and if not Embiid, then there's something wrong with the award because it should have been one of those two. But like I said, the advanced metrics clearly said Jokic was the best player this year, and I think the voters, kind of ran away with those numbers because it wasn't really that close, if I recall correctly. From the final numbers, let me look them up real quick. Yeah, so the final point tally was 875 points for Jokic, 705 for Embiid, and 595 for Giannis. They were the only three players that received first place votes. And out of those first place votes, Jokic ran away with it with 65 first place votes. And to Embiid, only 26. So, the voters spoke up for Shirley. They picked Jokic. He was clearly the winner. So, shout out to Jokic. Like I said, those numbers that he put up were impressive. Not just the advanced numbers, but like 27, 13.8, 7.9, 58 from the field. That's impressive. No one can deny that. But Embiid, he led the league in points, which is impressive as a center. He's the first center to do that since Shaq. And all the drama that was going along with the Sixers, we've kind of noticed that Doc Rivers is not like the best coach. He's been riding off that Celtics championship for the last 10 years. And despite all of that, despite a lot of moving parts around him, Embiid showed out. Giannis Antetokounmpo, 29.9, 11.6 rebounds, 5.8 assists, 1.8 blocks, 55 from the field, and just showed out in the biggest games on marquee TNT and ESPN games with, the whole NBA community watching. I don't know. It is what it is. Congratulations to Jokic, winning back-to-back MVPs, winning 2 MVPs, and we'll see what happens to this award. I know there's a lot of people that are saying it's losing credibility, but it is what it is.